This is the confirmation hearing of the Liberia Telecommunications Authority, the LTA. We will now ask, what is the revenue here? We are the open prayer. Anybody here? And what are you in legal open war? Let us bow. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you today to ask you blessings on all of us. Today's hearing will be one of facts, one of truth, and the future of our country in the telecommunications sector. It's an all other blessing we ask in Jesus' name.
Tell you, David.
Thank you. So we ask the nominee to do a self-introduction, and then after that, the sergeant will charge you.
My name is Emmanuel J. Pega. I am the engineering director appointed to be a commissioner of the Liberia Telecommunications Authority.
Hello. Let's say, here it is the achievement, and we don't come in the achievement. There will be no jeering or booing or anything for that matter. You are just outside the achievement. You are witnessing. Please, thank you.
The chairman, the nominee should refer to himself as a nominee, nominated, not appointed.
Will you please go back to your
My name is Emmanuel J. Pega. I am nominated to be a commissioner of the Liberia Telecommunications Authority.
Which one is it?
My name is Emmanuel J. Pega.
Thank you.
What did J for?
And the first time you were who?
Thank you.
Good afternoon, my name is Patrick Honor. Mr. Chairman, members of the executive committee, my name is Clarence Mastercard, current acting chair of the LTA and chair designate. Thank you so kind.
Mr. Chair, member of the committee, my name is Ben Fofana, acting commissioner of the Telecommunications Authority, and a nominee to be appointed as a commissioner when confirmed.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members of the Senate committee here present. My name is Angela Cassell-Bush, Commissioner-Designate, Liberian Telecommunications Authority.
Thank you. Sergeant, please charge. Yes, sir.
Aye. Do you get my swear? That's a motion. How to get? Correction. Is it true? Another one is true. Go ahead with the number is designated and not qualified to sit for the hearing. Thank you, sir. I'm now qualified.
We are not qualified to have a seat. Distinguished senators, so we want to counsel introduction of our police here. Introduction from the back, and then back row, and then the next row.
I am somewhere on Wekuga, Senator of Lima County.
Senator Puto County, representing Bapolo County, member of this committee. Papa Mabale Fatila, ranking for county, member of this committee.
My name is Emmanuel Nokoi. I represent the people of Mali and the North Senate.
My name is Wesley Finlay, representing the people of Great County, Grand
Jeleka Alexander Tyler, Senator Bowman County.
Nobody TH Fatima, a representative of Nanku, and former chair of this committee, currently consultant for this committee.
Way forward.
Yanji Tuan Jr., ranking member of this committee, representing the people of Liberian. I'm James P. Bynum, Senator from Liberia, co-chairman of the committee. I'm Francis said to Pope the Second, Liberia County, retired representative, County, and the chair of this committee. Thank you, colleagues, for the introduction. We'll now ask the vice chair of the committee to give an opening statement.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Distinguished senators, nominees, welcome to the Liberian Senate. This contribution hearing is in line with the laws that control the LTA. It is provided for before you step into a position as leaders of the LTA, as commissioners and as chair, you must be confirmed. And this exercise sets the basis for that. Following your interaction with the Senate will make a determination as to whether you are qualified to serve in the position to which you are nominated or you are not qualified. That information will be provided to the President, and you are going to have the opportunity to interact with the senators, beginning with each of you having an opportunity to express yourself and say something about the position to which you are nominated. And then that will be followed by questions, and the determination will be made subsequently. Thank you. And Mr. Chairman, over to you.
Thank you. So we will now begin the conversation with the nominee, beginning from the chair designate, and then afterwards the other commissioner designate to speak. Maximum of 10 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, members of this committee, distinguished senators, as previously previously said, my name is Clarence Masakwa, currently serve as acting chair designate of the LTA. Mr. Chairman, if you permit me, I would like to preface this brief presentation, this brief comment. Firstly, thanking God Almighty for this opportunity. Of course, whatever we have become, whatever we will become, not just me as a person, as a team, we believe it has been God giving us an opportunity to serve the people of Liberia. Additionally, we would like to thank the President, His Excellency Joseph Newman Boka, for the confidence that he reposed in us for 1 year ago as acting commissioners, and by reinforcing that confidence and nominating us now. Hopefully, when this confirmation process is completed and you should have made that decision, we now transition from acting to commissioners, hopefully. I'm using hopefully. Mr. Chairman and members of this committee, the President has nominated us. Today we find it as an opportunity, we find it as a privilege to be seated before you. In our mind, we see a limited number of persons here, but you occupy a very important position. Sitting before you, we imagine that we are sitting before approximately 5.2 million Liberians. Whatever we say here, whatever pledge we have made to the President, to begin firstly working as a team, we can show the President that this will be nothing short of teamwork. We appear before you today to renew that pledge that we made to the President, but also say it to the Liberians through you. Having said that, the time is short, but I'd like to just summarize a few, since we've been here for a year now, over a year now, to say briefly some of the things that we've been able to achieve. Mr. Chair, as you and members of your committee are aware, that the mandate of the LTA primarily is to create the regulatory framework that will ensure affordable, reliable services for Liberians. Before we enter LTA, whatever was done to protect consumers was done out of goodwill. Today we have in place a consumer protection regulation. Today we have in place a value-added service regulation. You know, when you have telecom resources, it will interest you to know, Mr. Chairman, that even the cell phone numbers are assigned to each of us, technically and by our rules, they are actually rented. Before we went to LTA, we didn't have in place regulation governing with different provisions. Key among the functions of the LTA is to manage the telecom resources, the numbers, the spectrum, the frequency. Now, after a few months ago, through the collective work by the LTA, now until recently, through the collective work of the LTA, we've been able now to value our spectrum resources. Before then, when we gave licensing, the licenses we gave to service providers, 15 years. Some of the cash, some of the income that we make now is because by that time we didn't have a regulator, we are not even value our resources. If you were to do the math, you will realize that they are far, what we receive as proceeds, as revenue, are far very low. With now that we have in place a document that guides us, that we have value, that we attach financial value to our resources, I'm sure in the next 4 years when we start to renew the licenses, I'm sure with the blessing of the government, the revenue, in our opinion, should be higher. And that is because we have a legal framework in place now. Today, as I speak to you, Mr. Chairman, technology is advancing. AI, 5G, we didn't have any regulation today. It's a process to conclude a cybersecurity regulation is far advanced. That was to mean few of the steps that we have taken since our appointment as acting commissioners of the LTA. The story that I've explained to you, highlighting the deliverables, may sound very attractive, but yet, Mr. Chairman, before this August body, we took an oath that whatever we say here, we'll do everything possible to make sure we reflect the truth. With all of the gains that we have made, we yet have some areas that we think we need to be covered. And because those gaps exist, it is our view, it is our hope that when confirmed, these areas, this team, it's not just me as chair, but this team will immediately go into paying attention to those areas to make sure that we have are covered. Mr. Chairman, I just talked to you on our licensing regime. Based on the technical specs of our frequency, it almost seems as though we are doing wholesale. And for the sake of the time, I will summarize. That we're doing wholesale. But we have licenses that are 5 years, 15 years, they've gone 10 years now, approximately 11 years. This current board does not want to wait until the 5-year ends, then we begin to put in place a new regime. We put into place a new regime, and the next time we award the service provider licensing, we'll make sure that it reflects the industry best practice. But for us to do that, we need a legal framework. Quality of service. Mr. Chair, we have appeared before you many times. People will come from all around. Oh, you know, I just called my contract. That is exactly, that exactly relates or reflects the quality of service. This board is not just interested in making sure that services are available in the communities, but we are also concerned about the quality of service. Before you and the House of Representatives, the two committees, have been so concerned about quality of service. Mr. Chair, there's a system we're trying to introduce, and that is for us to be able to register all of the INEI numbers of the phone. Each phone has an identity number. It is estimated that about 10% of the quality of service issues that we have in the field, most times, we are tempted to believe that all of the blame is on the service provider. But you will realize that because we are not able to track the devices that we have in our ecosystem, because we are not able to track it, about most of the quality of service issues are due to either fake phones, largely fake phones. But because we don't have a system to track it, to register them, so by the time I take that number, if that system is put in place with your support, by the time I take your phone and go through it and put your IMEI number, it will tell me whether your phone is a fake phone or not. So if the LTA is supported and all those fake phones, first of all, they are not just taken away from the stock from coming, we believe it will address some of the quality of service issues that we have. Type approval, cyber security issues. Yes, so to roll out the implementation, we are going to roll out the implementation of consumer protection regulation. Mr. Chair, this board is extremely concerned about rural connectivity. And because of that, I know a lot of you are aware of the universal access, and maybe some question will come from there. But it is not just enough that most of the telecom services are concentrated in the urban areas. And the reason why they are concentrated in the urban areas is, if you were to ask a company, go to Bokojile and build a tower there, he's going to calculate whether the place is commercially viable. And because in their estimation, those places may not be commercially viable, our people who are there, in my estimation, I'm saying that we, from both sides of the government, I believe, from the business side, their profit is in money. On the government side, our profit is not just money, our profit is when our people are served. So because of that, this board will take deliberate steps to direct some resources to make sure places that are deemed not commercially viable by the companies, that this board can take decision to direct some of the resources. I know here as senators, you receive calls, you receive letters from your constituency that our area no network, but the companies are not doing because they believe if they go there they will not make profit. As a government, we will be proposing to you, this board will be proposing to you that will invest in expanding services to those rural areas. I'm not sure if I still have some time. My 10 minutes. So, Mr. Chairman, to conclude, Mr. Chair, we have a situation in Liberia that is almost a monopoly. We have two GSM companies that's the major players. That's MTN and Orange. Mr. Chair, I do not want to sit here and scare Liberians, but from our short time of experience, if care is not taken to possibly introduce a third player, maybe a fourth player, our population is more than the population of Gambia, but Gambia has more than 2 cell companies and they're making profit. As it stands in Liberia, if Orange and MTN were to ever go behind some doors and decide that they will charge us 25 and we all decide 25 is high, but you have no two companies. If the two companies decide to keep on the 25 cents per minute, I hope we don't even go there again. But if that were to happen, we will complain that prices are high, but we have only two options. It is the view of this board that upon confirmation, we are going to ask our technicians to give a database of our frequency, probably usher, to allow third player or fourth player to come in the market. From the perspective of economics, when competition ensues in the market, a free market system, it is believed that it will affect prices downwards. But here, as I close, we have some companies, and maybe this is not to threaten, but it's to warn. We have some companies that are in possession of license to operate in our market as GSM companies. They have the licenses, they pay license fee, but for almost 2 years have not seen a commercially fit to start operation in Liberia. With your blessing, Mr. Chair, it is my proposal that there will be a comprehensive review of all of those who have licenses but they're not coming in. If you have a license in your hand, if I give you a license, I'll give you my frequency, you have it. It's warehousing. To give a space for a third or fourth company, this board might, and because we stay seeking nomination, I'll keep using the voice might. But we are so determined that if you have a license and you don't see a fit to operate here after 2 years, we will initiate a process to retrieve them so that the government as a whole can be intentional in in creating a space for a third or fourth player. We are hopeful, based on our market survey, that if that were to happen, we are sure the quality of service will be there, but the prices might be done. The government can decide to have a new player exclusively or completely, or have a player who comes, and I hope the executive can see reason to accept this. We have LTC. LTC basically now, and I hope again I'm saving, basically seems like a liability, no profit, because they don't have the capital. We believe if these companies who have licenses and are not here If we were to retrieve it, it can either decide to have a new company that comes to the market and operate completely, or come in the market and buy a share in LTC. In our case, LTC becomes a viable alternative. As it stands, LTC is among the 5 GSM companies that we have, but it seems as though we have only 2. If LTC was empowered to public-private partnership or have a completely new third party, we believe that will be an alternative to Orange and MTN, and when competition comes, all players will fight to have a market share, and in our mind, that will ensure quality service on the market. I want to stop so far, Mr. Chair, and give me the time. I want to thank you so kindly for this opportunity, and I will rest on this note and wait for questions.
Thank you. Gordy, do you want us to So, Mr. Chair, the nominee, they're going to be in a payroll. We'll just decide to start this way. Yeah, they have some gender sensitivity.
Can we limit the time because of it's almost 5 o'clock.
5 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, the chairman speaking.
Okay, because we believe that at the LTA, the commissioners can work as a team. The chairman has spoken for more than 10 minutes, so we can issue you maximum 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the Senate committee here present. I'll just quickly run through my script. It is with profound gratitude and immense humility that I sit before you today at this confirmation hearing for the position of Commissioner at the Liberia Telecommunications Authority. I extend my sincere thanks to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Jose Lima Boyka Sr., for the trust and confidence reposed in me to serve our beloved nation in this critical capacity. And to this honorable committee, I thank you for the opportunity to present myself and the collective vision for the future of our telecommunications sector. For the past year, I have had the privilege of serving as the acting commissioner with oversight for international gateway services and internet governance. The period has further reinforced my deep commitment to public service and my understanding of the pivotal role that a robust, secure, and transparent telecommunications gateway plays in Liberia's digital transformation and economic prosperity. My professional journey, spanning over 2 decades, has been characterized by a dedication to fiscal integrity, administrative excellence, and impartial policy making across various spheres of government and the private sector. From leading transformative reforms at the then Ministry of Finance under my boss, who is now Senator Amar Konen, we have worked together and driven significant revenue growth at the ministry. All right, and then I also work at the Ministry of Transport, overseeing critical administrative functions with a regional body as well, the Router's Flight Information. My career has been defined by a consistent pursuit of good governance, transparency, and accountability. My prior experience in international banking compliance further instilled in me a rigorous approach to regulatory oversight and risk management. During my tenure as acting commissioner at the LTA, with the support and collaboration with my colleagues, my focus has been on strengthening the foundations of our national telecommunications infrastructure and revenue insurance. We have spearheaded the strategic oversight and operational enhancement of Liberia's international gateway monitoring system, ensuring its effectiveness in tracking inbound and outbound international voice and data traffic. This is not merely about data, it is about robustly combating SIM, boxing, and bypassing fraud, thereby safeguarding the integrity of Liberia's telecommunications sector and protecting vital national revenues. I have provided critical strategic guidance and implemented robust revenue assurance directly contributing to a significant increase in national telecommunications tax revenue, a tangible contribution to our national budget. We have championed the design and guided the implementation of stringent quality of service benchmark for international traffic, ensuring that Liberians experience optimal network performance and that our service providers adhere to global standards. We have also proactively cultivated and strengthened strategic partnerships with key private sector entities and international donors to include the World Bank, Smart Africa, USAID, which with these interactions we're poised to mobilize essential technical support and resources vital for enhancing gateway transparency and regulatory capacity. Crucially, in close coordination with members of the Acting Board of Commissioners at the LTA, the Ministry of Posts and Telecommunications, and other critical sector players, we have led a multi-stakeholder collaborative effort to develop foundational national ICT policies on cybersecurity, a paramount endeavor for strengthening Liberia's digital resilience and national security posture in an increasingly interconnected world. Honorable Senators, the telecommunications landscape is dynamic and ever evolving. Our diverse background in public financial management, administrative leadership, regional governance, and regulatory compliance has equipped us with a holistic perspective and the necessary skills to navigate these complexities. We understand the interplay between policy, technology, and economic development. We appreciate the need for agile regulatory frameworks that foster innovative while ensuring consumer protection and national security. If confirmed, our vision for the LTA includes sustaining and expanding revenue assurance mechanism to ensure Liberia fully benefits from its digital traffic, continuously enhancing quality of service as the Chairman-Designate mentioned, making Liberia a model for reliable and high-performing telecommunication services, strengthening international collaboration and partnerships to leverage global expertise and resources for our national development, upholding the highest standards of transparency, accountability, and ethical governance in all regulatory and operational endeavors. Our commitment to the people of Liberia, to the principles of good governance, and to the advancement of our telecommunications sector is unwavering. We are dedicated to working collaboratively with this honorable body, the executive, our private sector partners, and civil society to build a telecommunications environment that is robust, secure, inclusive, and anti-conducive to national growth. Thank you for your time and consideration, and I'm now ready to respond to whatever questions you have.
Thank you. We'll move to the next.
Mr. Chairman, committee members, honorable members of the Liberian Senate, the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is with a profound sense of responsibility that I appear before you today, honored by the President of the Republic of Liberia's nomination to serve as Commissioner at the Liberia Telecommunications Authority. I wish to thank His Excellency President Joseph Boakai for the confidence reposed in me. I also extend my gratitude to this honorable body for the opportunity to address you. As we all know, telecommunications and digital connectivity are no longer luxuries. They are essential tools for national development, from education to healthcare to commerce, governance, and public safety. Telecommunications, the digital space, are the infrastructure of the 21st century. And at the LTA, as the regulator of this vital sector, we carry the mandate to ensure that every Liberian has access to reliable, affordable, and secure communication. This is the commitment we come to you with, the commitment to serve with integrity, transparency, and a deep passion to bridge the communications and digital gaps of our country. For over a year now, I have directly supervised advancing universal access to unserved and underserved Liberians, which includes access to internet and mobile network. But much more needs to be done. Over the next 4 years, if confirmed, we intend to expand access to mobile network coverage and internet access as a priority. We must bridge this digital divide. This will entail strategic partnerships with the legislature and other stakeholders. We will work to ensure that every district and community is within reach of telecommunication services, especially those that have historically been underserved and neglected. Protecting consumer rights. Telecommunication users are not just consumers, they are citizens. They deserve transparent billing, quality service, and fair treatment. Over the last 1 year, as my colleague said, we signed the Consumer Protection Regulation, bringing an historic attention to protecting consumers, unprecedented. We have set up the Consumer Help Desk with a free toll number of 2244 to escalate consumer complaints in the event the service providers renege on addressing those complaints. We are intentionally setting up 2 service centers as a starter in Bomi County, Western Liberia, and Bon County for North Central Liberia. We intend to expand to other regions. These centers are primarily to provide for consumers to have an access to the LTA and users of telecommunications to easily access the Liberian Telecommunications Authority. Our goal is to ensure timely redress of complaints, promoting clear communication from service providers and enhancing public awareness so consumers can make informed choices. In this age of technological advancement, social media has emerged as a key source of information, misinformation, and monetization. As indicated, this honorable body is already working on the passage of the cyber security law, another significant step to protect consumers. But social media can become a key source of monetization for our ever-growing Liberian content creators. While the FTA cannot directly force social media platforms to pay content creators, it can easily establish policy and regulation to encourage monetization that will directly put monies in the pockets of our local content creators and protect the interests of local creators. To that end, if confirmed, we will push for access to global monetization platforms. Most platforms, including YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, require creators to meet specific eligibility criteria for monetization. Example, the country's eligibility, certain number of views and followers. YouTube, TikTok, Facebook have their offices in South Africa for the African continent. Many of these platforms do not currently include Liberia in their monetization programs. So what can the LTA do? Engage directly with platforms like Meta, Facebook and Instagram, YouTube, Google and TikTok to request the inclusion of Liberia in the official monetization countries. To that end, if confirmed, we can present data showing the growing volume of content creation and audience engagement from Liberia to justify monetization access. We can support the creation of a national digital creators program, a national initiative to encourage some of those who use social media for other reasons to see it as a source of income. Finally, honorable senators, our commitment is simple but firm to represent the interests of the Liberian people, especially the voiceless, rural dwellers, the digitally excluded. We are inspired by the needs of our citizens and committed to helping Liberia move confidently into a more inclusive digital future. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Before we move to the next two nominees, while we were in the hearing, we were joined by other colleagues. Can you introduce yourself, please?
I'm Abraham Douglas Dillon, represent Moscow County. I chair the Committee on Foreign Affairs.
I'm Bill Tuewe. I represent the interest of the people of Rivers County. I chair the Committee on Youth and Sports and acting chair on transport. I'm a member of this committee. Why right now?
Good afternoon. My name is Amara Kone, Senator representing Baltimore County, Chair of the County, Co-Chair Banking and Currency. I'm not sure about this committee.
No, you're not. No, you're here now. You're here now.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. So we will now move the same way. Let's nominate.
Thank you, Mr. First, my brief remark will focus on my suitability. The chairpersons of the acting has extensively dive into the issues that we have faced as institutions and also provided some way forward. So to begin, distinguished chair, vice chair, honorable senator, and member of the esteemed committee. First, I want to thank God for his blessings bestowed on us as the people and nations. I would like to express my gratitude to His Excellency Joseph Numa Boakar Sr., President of the Republic of Liberia, for considering me for the role of acting commissioner since April of last year to present, and further nominating me to serve as a commissioner on Telecommunications Board. I want to appreciate the Liberian Senate and its statutory committee for allowing me to appear before you, all to assess my suitability for this all important job. Again, as I said earlier, my name is Ben Fufano. I'm an experienced professional with over 26 years of progressive career journey in private and public sector, especially in education, financial management, and managerial. And I'm a legislative, now a telecommunications administrator. I earned a diploma, undergraduate and graduate degree from Liberia, University of Liberia, and Connecticut Graduate School of Professional Studies. Moreover, I'm a family man, married with 4 biological children and several siblings and grandchildren. I would like to express my dedication and commitment to working with you all for the development of the telecommunications sector. I believe that robust, accessible, affordable, and innovative telecommunications infrastructure is a foundational pillar for the arrest agenda for inclusive development, AAID. With my experience now over the last 1 year as acting commissioner, you can be assured that my confirmation will further reinforce my ability to be responsive to responding to the need of the Liberian people. Honorable Chairman and member of the esteemed committee, I am dedicated to ensuring that Liberia Telecommunications Authority fulfill its mandate to regulate the telecommunications sector and reasonable, transparently, and efficiently promoting competitions and protecting consumers by through promotion of the following areas. 1. Strengthening regulatory frameworks. 2. Enhancing digital inclusions. 3. Protecting a competitive market. 4. Protecting consumer interests. 5. Promoting innovation in the sector. And 6. Expanding partnership and regional connectivities to enhance the sector. I would like to assure this community that I am fully aware of the crucial role the telecommunication plays in shaping Liberia's digital future. I am prepared to commit my energy, experience, and expertise to ensure that the mandate of the LTA is achieved to the best of my ability. Over a year as an acting commissioner, I was assigned with the responsibility to provide stewardship on licensing and regulatory department. Under the period of 1 year, we were able to formulate several regulations that will strengthen the telecommunications sector in our country. Before we proceed to questions and answers, Honorable Chair and distinguished member of this committee, please know that if I am confirmed, I will work with this committee to ensure that the telecommunication becomes a vital sector in our country. Again, many thanks for the opportunity to appear before you, this honorable body at this hour. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay. We move to next nominee. Maximum of 5 minutes.
Chair, as chair, honorable senators, I'm very happy to be before you. I'm grateful.
You put a mark on here, that's easy.
I'm grateful to the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Joseph Nima Mwada, for nominating me to be the Commissioner of the Liberian Telecommunications Authority. And I'm thankful to the Republic of Liberia for educating me in the field of telecommunications and trained to the extent that when it comes to telecommunication, I'm at a point for me to give my work to help the country. As a trained telecommunication personnel and a team player, I work as a team. In teamwork, successes are easily achievable. That was displayed when I served as operation manager in LTC. During that era, every technical manager was supervised adequately, and a lot was accomplished under Mr. Charles Roberts and Mr. James Aga, Managing Director and Deputy Managing Director. My aim and objective at the LTA is to be a team player of the Board of Commissioners. We will then achieve a lot in the field of telecommunications to benefit the Republic of Liberia. We need telecommunications equipment that will enable us to monitor the activities of the first G, second, third to fifth G. This will enable us to find out if our frequencies are used by unauthorized users. Now that we're using 5G, it doesn't work only with telecommunication. Doing 5G, you can do a lot of work. So if we have test equipment, we can monitor those frequencies, and those that are using our frequency, and not the sign, they can be cut. This will enable us to find out if our frequencies are used by authorized users. We need test equipment to monitor the usage of a sound frequency. We also need test drive equipment that will totally show us where each mobile network operator is having good and poor signals. If we use the test drive, like for example, we have two cell phone companies. We give one green, we give one red. If we are doing a test drive, wherever we go, we see as well we're having good and poor signals. And doing that, we can communicate with the cell phone companies to have those corrected so that the Liberian will.
Thank you. Thank you. So, the nominee, we just want you to summarize. Then you are done, and time are following you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We will now, having listened to the distinguished senators, having listened to the nominee on the presentation, you have the CV review. We now have interaction, the maximum of 5 minute interaction for each senator. So, maximum of 5 minute interaction.
2 minutes.
The maximum of 5 minutes for each senator colleagues can use to the other, and by the discussion of the chair, depending on the facts and circumstances, depending on the level of question, the chairman will use discussion. Thank you.
Let's get a ground rule before we start.
Maximum of 5 minutes.
For all the nominees per senator.
No.
For the telecommunications sector.
You have it up to, you have 5 minutes, that's 5 minutes.
Okay,
Thank you. Senator Finney, Senator, this is the order. Senator Finney, Senator Charles, Senator Bashikwa, Senator Lukwe, and Senator Koga. And then we'll go back.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Talking spectrum of the license of the telecommunications sector.
Former chair.
I am the former chair of the committee. So, my concern right now is the service in this sector. There's nobody in this room that hasn't been experiencing serious problems over the last 3 months. Calls coming in, talking and cut off. Data is not working. You are the regulator. I'm paying a second, or maybe even less than that. Because I'm being billed. For every second I use, I pay for that service. But there are times that the call is running and you cannot communicate. You're not using the service. So I would like to know, what have you done since you've been there? That's all. I mean, I think we can talk quickly. My thing will be very short. So if you can address that, not everybody needs to address that. I just want to know if you know of this problem and if you have found any of these operators.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you, Senator. As the acting chair said earlier, when we got to LTN, there were a lot of things that were not in place that how to address the issue that the center available. But as we speak to you currently, we have a regulation in place, projects, and issues are coming from the field. We have a mechanism to address those issues. Firstly, as a consumer, if you have a problem, the challenge is that you put the operator, the service provider first. If your issue cannot be addressed, then you come to NTA. Of course, the consumer service department will handle that issue. In many cases, operators are reimbursed on a customer for payment made for a call, and the call is not utilized in the morning blackout, or sometimes there's a blackout. If you have charged my phone for 3 days and there's no internet, there's no coverage, after the 3 days you take the money back, the issue comes to us, the service provider being reimbursing the customer.
Do you have any evidence of that?
Yes, we have evidence and a report on that. Especially from the southeastern region.
Outside of this pay gap, the four of you have been acting commissioners for more than a year. There have been some issues around the former commissioners. And that, my concern is that my understanding, and I may be wrong, that there was some agreement to compensate them. Have they been compensated?
Mr. Chair, distinguished senators, when we got appointed first, I don't need to rehash the history. There was an issue of some, by then, suspended commissioners going to the court, and the court ruled. Fast forward, there was an audit, and there were concerns that whether a public servant can be going through a process of audit and you can pay them or not. There's a back and forth in a discussion. When I was appointed as acting chair, before I got appointed, and my police can tell me obviously, I don't think anybody around this table has seen any rating agreement. 2 days ago, it came to my attention.
Order.
Yeah.
Yeah, my order is the issue raised by my colleague from Grand Bassa County. I think because of its sensitivity, it can be addressed in the committee room.
The what? Rule on our will.
First, distinguished Senator, I think the nominee here, before all that, as an authority of the LTA until they are confirmed. So therefore, it is a prerogative of the President. I think we should go straight to their competence and the suitability in terms of the job we've been doing as LTA. And those matters that have to do with the President nomination before the Senate should be addressed directly to the Senate and the President. That's what I think. So the order succeed. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll continue. Mr. Chairman, I disagree. As a senator, the President has the right to nominate. It is my right to ensure that those who he nominates are properly vetted. And this is a situation that I believe you have ruled already on, and I will graciously respect the rule as chairman. Can I continue?
Yeah.
Question. Thank you. The function and responsibility of the LTA is to ensure I listen to you all, and all of you have some great ideas moving this sector forward. One is to expand the number of operators, technically to acquire equipment to be able to monitor assets, telephone numbers. There's one issue I have, which is really disturbing. You want to be able to track, monitor telephones. You want to? Without a court order. And I'm concerned about that because my privacy to using my phone cannot be LTE proper. Cannot be LTE proper. And it should not be LTE proper. The law, your act does not give you the authority to go and monitor my phone without a court order. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. Maybe it's something that I might be able to investigate. But with that, Mr. Chairman, I respectfully submit my question. Thank you.
Thank you. To those in the back, please. The sound coming from there is not good for us. Yeah.
So, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, again, distinguished senators, in my presentation, and I like the concern from the distinguished senator, maybe is a selected choice of word. What the LTA intends to do as a means of addressing some of the quality of service issues that we have is to be able to have registration, not to monitor the communication on your phone. But I reported here that statistics show that about 30% of the quality of service situation we have is from the quality of the phones that we use. It may interest you to know that somebody could be walking in the street right now, Senator, who believe that they have a very good Samsung phone. But if I were to install a system and put your ID number in that system, the system will soon tell me that this phone is fake. Because we don't have that system, the country is not monitoring the quality of the phones, the quality of the equipment that we are using. What LTA intends to do is to initiate a system so that the phones and the other equipments that are coming are tested and are deemed qualified to come on the market or disqualified. As it stands, we have a lot of things. So it's not, LTA is not intended to monitor your conversation on your phone. It's to have a database of all of the equipment that we have. As it stands, we don't have that. But I just also like to close. If the LTA intends to take any action, whether to have a national registry of all of the equipment that we have, the LTA will seek to do that in the confines of the law. And the law calls for protection of consumers' protection, their privacy, and the LTA will do nothing to interfere with the privacy of consumers. So to the extent to where the law allows, the LTA intends to do that as a means of having quality of service and not to interfere into monitoring the personal conversation between devices.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I have conceded, so I'll leave it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Senator Tyler.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair. Nominees, let me say congratulations for your preferment. I have 10 questions that we will do that in 5 minutes. 5 minutes, it depends on you now. How you answer. Number one, what is the current status of the universal suffrage?
You want to answer?
You want to ask? Yeah, you want to answer?
You want to answer?
Want to ask the 10 questions? What the current status of the universal suffrage? Answer something.
The Universal Access Program is vibrant and active. We have 12 towers installed in 11 counties. One of those counties has got 2 towers installed, and that's specifically Grand Crew County. There are 3 more towers to be installed to complete the project that was contracted, an international contractor to complete that. The 3 counties include Sino County, Rivers, and Lofa, and that process is ongoing. A team is arriving in the country next week to move into Sino, Lofa, and Rivers County to install the 3 towers. So yes, the Universal Access Program is well on course. I also must mention that immediately after this contract, we intend to proceed with harnessing resources to expand, because not only for mobile networks, but also internet. As I speak, we have a pilot phase ongoing. We've installed Starlink kits in 6 counties so far, and the excitement is huge, specifically from Bakuru County. The reception is extremely good. We intend to proceed with that. In the next years, we intend to roll this out from district to district.
So what's the impact on the citizens? How are they reacting to this?
So I will use the Bakuru County scenario as a case study. As I said, it's a pilot for that. In Bakuru, we have footage of people celebrating. People were applauding the system, because not only that we install those kits, some of these people have never had access to internet, never in their lives. What the UF towers do is to provide 2G, and 2G is for voice calls. So with the introduction of providing access to internet, people now have an opportunity to move in there and make calls and use the internet, and the reception is so far very positive. We also have one in Bonny County, I must emphasize, Shem Mecca.
So can you assure us that we until the intended purpose for the answer will be achieved?
Yes, sir. Yes, Honorable Senator.
So with that, I rest on another 7 questions. Thank you.
And then
the guy was flattering you with huge questions. Thank you.
Full level.
Thank you. Well, I want to congratulate all of you for your referment to the data presented to the Liberia Senate for vetting. I have a few concerns. My colleague asked one of my questions, which is, what is the status of the universal asset? And the nominee, one of the nominees, just indicated that my county is one of the beneficiaries. Great group, which I can confirm. But are you aware the information that you gave me about their performance that of the present? Those 2 towers that were erected in Great Crew are now meeting the objective. So I intended to ask you, why don't you arrange with the operators for them to co-locate with your tower's objective is not meeting? Why they can't co-locate?
Thank you, Honorable Senator. I must also say that the 2 towers in Grand Crew County are down. They've been down for a little over a year. And there is a team moving into Grand Crew County as we speak to put those 2 towers on. Not only Grand Crew County, there were 9 towers down. When we took over, we met 9 towers down. We had to revisit the contract.
The team going there now to certify the
The team, no, not. The team is in town. The team is in town. And the team is moving into Nimba, Grand Crew, River G, where those towers are installed to be able to revive those towers. But yes, I agree with you, we're working with Orange. Most of those towers have MTN signals. So we're working with Orange. We've already concluded with Orange to have them co-locate on those towers. And that process is on. The PST is already in country for that.
Yeah, but Mr. Commissioner and the entire team, the universal asset was a program for which you acquired a contractor. The contractor took government's money, Liberian people's money, erected towers that are not performing. What is your engagement with them? With that company? Whole year. I said whole year.
Mr. Chair, distinguished senators, we pledged to be as factual as possible. And we asked that we work with all players. When we took over, we realized on both sides of the contract that there is a performance concerns. On the other side of the contract, there's a payment issue. So what did we do? We went to Ghana, where the company is. KNET, the company is KNET. And I'm trying to be a little bit economical with the pronouncements, but KNET contract is being, and the decision is by majority of the board, so I will be a little bit conservative with being, not trying to be very definite. But we are between the scissors. KNET has already started the contract. They constructed 12 out of 15. Of the 12, we realized that 9 of them were down. Recently, KNET came and they tried to bring on live the other few of them who went to Grand Plaza. And this is not armchair. It's the commissioners moving in the field and actually assessing the realities on the ground. When the compound number 2, Grand Plaza, with the minister. So KNET came and put on some of the tasks, but yet we still have some of it now. And the performance evaluation of this contractor as to whether we can even if the program was to continue, it would be based on the performance of the current contract. At the same time, if you are to cut off the contract now
Meaning, you have already made payment to KNET, and they are supposed to come now to finish the remaining 3, which is due by next week. But as soon as they complete the construction of the 3 towers, the maintenance of the 15 towers will be left with LTA to determine if you want to continue with the contractor that you have concerns with. But again, it's a subject of the contract. So we don't want to be in a haste to undo a contract or not to perform our side of the contract. So what we plan to do is to find the money for KNET to complete the construction of the remaining 3. Then you come down on the side of the service delivery, which will have to do with bringing live the current towers that you have now. If it is determined that KNET cannot continue to be entrusted with the maintenance of these towers, Mr. Chair, I said something from the beginning that part of these steps will take strong coordination with all players, all government players, and that includes the national legislature. We are before you, we are stating what is going to happen. Yes, we regret that those towers are down, but whether KNET will continue with KNET or not, we wanted to complete the construction of the remaining 3. There will be a determination as to if they qualify to maintain all these towers. If that determination is made, then the next contract may not be KNET, and I'm saying may until the board reach that decision. The maintenance of these towers will be a different company. In fact, there is something that I said, or we have said, that the award of these contracts have to reflect Liberian participation. A review will take all of that into consideration. We have Liberians who will do it, but we cannot jump onto the contract unless we go to the tail end of this exercise. The next phase will determine how we move forward. But we regret that the towers are down. It is a concern to us. We have started working on it all at once. Eventually, will. I'm sure myself will go to grant me. Thank you. This discussion is to encourage you to really to move in getting those objectives for which the programs were initiated to have them achieved. But can I find out who is managing our international gateway and how did you see the performance of that institution?
Thank you, Mr. Honorable Senator. Before I go to your question, I just wanted to support what my previous colleagues have said in terms of our sensitivity to challenges in the underserved regions. In as much as we're working with KNET, we've also put in some stopgap measures to address some of the concerns with regards to these hard-to-reach areas. For example, we went ahead and gave Starlink a provisional license. Okay, and they have resellers in all of those, in most of the areas where people have the possibility of accessing, internet through Starlink. And so far, we're hearing good news about that. So that's a positive, thing. So we're not just looking in one area. We're trying to, look at other options, and we've been approached by others as well who want to come to provide, some support to what we are doing with universal access. But I'm sure as the team gets together and we engage more, we will be able to, come forward and report to the committee. Your question was who manages the gateway. For voice and data, we have Telecom International Alliance, TIA. So they have been the ones to do monitoring of voice and data, and then most recently, we have started to work along with them and our teams to also look at the value-added services, which is poised to give our government, some significant amount of revenue once we put that in effect.
Okay. One of the programs that was all that we think could enhance all of the services of international telecommunication services in the country is the issue of the broadband connectivity. We were talking about the cable that we were getting connected to. How far is it? What is that program? Yeah, honorable cable.
There is cable
Yes.
Speak to Amagata and all the other.
I know the Post and Telecom have been working with a company, supported by the ECOWAS, Cabral.
Yeah.
And I think there's a second company that they've been having discussions with, but they have been the leads on, that and they're on Post and Telecom.
So, Mr. Chair, so as it stands, we have one landing station, which is in Liberia. And I agree with my distinguished colleague that the Post and Telecommunication Ministry is trying to kind of decentralize. So because of that decentralization approach, that the second landing cable will be in Grand Bassa, in Buchanan Grand Bassa.
Why should you?
No, I sure. Yeah, it would be in Buchanan Grand Bassa. Yeah, so so the next landing station will be in Buchanan Grand Bassa. It's headed by the Honorable Minister of Post, but this is under the Amaka program. The CCL is managing our share of the government share in the ACE cable. We are regulating. We can only advocate for the executive to see reason to kind of give a little bit of hand to CCL, because the government has a little bit more than 50% of the share in it. If we don't deploy it, that means you have goods, but the goods you have it in the warehouse. It means you're not taking it to the market. You have it, and you have to keep servicing it. You got to be paying warehouse fee, but you're not trying to make it a little bit. So that is the same situation we have. CCL management is doing, in my opinion, in our view, extremely well. Unless the government give them support, we have that good in the warehouse, and we can get it from there. It means your overhead cost is being paid, or you are not letting out we are regulated. We cannot determine the market strategy or the business strategy for CCL. But as a government institution, when we have these opportunities to express support for our colleagues, we can do so. So some of this could be discussed behind the scene with the committee, but the CCL thing is the high need for support. And that's query on internet.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. I fully, to conclude my interaction, I fully agree with the theme on the issue of really bringing in another player, because I think the current players cannot solve our problem, because we continue to be confronted with the issue of poor performance and all that. I think when the competition is increased, it will make them to strengthen their program. Thank you very much.
Just
So, before we get to one of our colleagues, I want to acknowledge the nominee when you are responding. I mean, you are speaking English, but just speak President Boga English. Straight to the point. Straight to the point. Straight to the point. Thank you. One of our colleagues, take it easy yourself.
My name is Jonathan Borchas Sobe, and I represent the people of Milwaukee County.
thank you.
Then followed by Senator Nukwe.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much. To the nominee, my first concern goes to Mr. Pega. Mr. Pega, have you worked in the telecommunications sector before? If so, which one of the institutions?
No. Please let
the nominee respond. And that is easy for the public,
I work with like Director Telecommunications Corporation for about 20 years, and I was employed with the Liberia Telecommunications Authority in the year 2006. So yes, I worked with
with a vast experience in the LTA industry, as time goes by, you need people to succeed whenever you are experienced on the job. Since your inception, as you said, what are your success stories in terms of human resource capacity building in your sector, and specifically the telecommunications sector that you work in? How many persons have you grown up that in the future that you will can succeed?
In telecommunication, I have Telecommunication Authority. I have grown a number of technical personnel. Number one is Mr. Herman and I. We worked together for a number of years. I also trained Mr. Napoleon Stewart. We have worked together for a number of years. I've also trained Mrs. Lucia Quito. We also worked together for a number of years, and they are some new employees, and we are in training.
You know, my question may sound funny, but it is necessary to know your achievement with the experience you got. It's based upon this I raised that question. It may sound funny to you, but that's the intent. Because it's necessary when you are working and you have experience, you should mentor others that will succeed you. And those success stories also give motivation. Now, to Mr. Honda, you said that in Honor, that I you said in your explanation that if confirmed, you will show that all of the villages in the country have a GSM system, network connected. Are you an implementer or are you a regulator?
Thank you, Honorable Senator. I did say all of the districts, and I know that there are 73 districts we want to touch so that they can have access to telecommunications services and, of course, which includes internet. Yes, under the Act, the 2007 Act establishing the Liberia Telecommunications Authority is the universal access. And under the universal access, we are to reach to the unserved and underserved people as the regulator, granting them access and implementing that process. So yes, we have the legal parameters to do that, and we will try to achieve that.
Yeah, Mr. Masakwe, you made mention in your statement that there are two GSM companies in Liberia that are forming. If not increase it, there is a likelihood that increased tariff that will embarrass the end users. With your statement, you did not say that you are engaging. Who has the authority to have or to hire or to have a concession agreement with any new company?
Mr. Chair, Honorable Senator, I'm not sure if I understand it well, but yes, I mentioned that we will do everything to keep in our legally assigned mandate. But as a regulator, I said, in the event or in situations where you have two companies, it's called duopoly. If you're not careful, it happens. You have two players, but essentially, you're not far from experiencing a monopolistic situation. So we were saying, as a regulator who who have the mandate to issue license. And looking on the books, seeing 5 GSM companies that should be operating here, one being LTC, and GenCell, StarCell, being 2 of the 5 that are in possession of licenses. But given the period of time, it seems to me, I hope I'm wrong, it seems to me that we could be having a warehousing situation. So you come in, it happens in all industries, the mining, people come and take license, and you have it. Maybe observing the market, we are saying, from what we see, there is a need. And the 2 companies decide, I'm not saying they are doing it, and I'm in the public on their own. I'm not saying they are doing it. I'm saying, just in case that they ever try to do that, we could be stuck with the 2 people holding on to one price, and you have no option as a country to immediately go into have another player. We say to avoid that, okay, or to prepare for that, to prevent it, it would be a good idea to have a tier or a 4th player. But in the event where we have given 2 companies license, they have it and they are keeping it, and they cannot come, because when you come for a license, it seems to me that you are prepared, you have done a market survey, and you are prepared to come and launch. And then you come and I give you a license, and you keep it 1 year, 2 years, 4 years. I mean, I don't need any scientist to tell me. I will begin to think that you want to hold my telecom resource and keep it and pay me some small amount of money. I would intend to take steps to open up the market and have a 10 or 4 player account. And when you take the population, I mentioned about Gambia, they are smaller population that have only 2 or 3 players, and they're still making profit. If we were to give room for an increased competition, we believe it will help the consumer. The end game is consumers should have options.
Okay, my last.
Thank you, Senator.
Senator, I just want to just 30 seconds, if you won't mind. He was talking about.
No.
No. Okay, my last concern has to do with international best practice. You have short term, medium term, and long term. And in order for any GSM company to perform or to ensure that the subscriber or those end users benefit immensely, the best practice would be giving them latitude. Like for instance, the short term is 5 years to 10 years, 5 to 10 years. Medium term is 15 to 20 years. The last is, I think, is about 20 to 30 years. Looking at the situation, you don't think if you guys operating a short term or medium term, they will focus on minimizing profit because your tenure is short and the performance will not be adequate. What's your take on it?
I'm going to Senator. I think our role as the regulator is to be able to create an enabling environment for all of the players. So I think my colleague said maybe a 3rd player or 4th player, we're not going to go and bring somebody in and say, come. But we put in those guidelines, those regulations that will encourage others to come in, and once you have more people in the market, the competition will be more, and it will force others that are currently here to reduce their prices without passing on the costs to the consumers. So we're studying that to make sure that we're creating enabling environments, whether it's short-term, long-term. I'm thinking if you do a short-term arrangement, they may try to maximize for that period, and then it will affect the consumer. That's my personal thought. But I think we as a regulator, our role will be to create that environment that will benefit for the GSM companies as well as our people, the consumers.
Thank you.
Senator Nokwe, followed by Senator Cohen and Senator Dillon.
In our order.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me join our previous speakers to congratulate the nominees. my very respectful ID, former Representative Ben Fufana. Most of you, except for the last person, Mr. Peter, but for several years, we have worked with most of you, Mr. Honor, the chairman, Ben, who here from my village, myself together, and also Madam Kasapuch, we all work together in previous government, so I'm quite aware of the expertise and high level qualifications that most of you possess. So I have no doubt in my mind that for those of you I worked with over the years, I know very well, you will be able to serve. But I'd like to inquire on two things. The first thing has to do with the core monitoring. I think that falls within the purview of our concept which you talk about. I'd like to know when it comes to TIA's monitoring, will you give us a brief description about how this monitoring is done? How the monitoring goes on?
Basically, we have an arrangement with TIA where we have employees of the LTA stations at their 10th Street location. And they do a live, before it used to be 24 hours, but we reduced the time, but with their live monitoring traffic, both incoming and outgoing traffic. So, and then there's a screen that they look at, supported by on the back end by TIA. So at the end of each period, each month, we get a call data record from the GSM companies. So we kind of reconcile that with what we see in the system. So once we get the information, we do the reconciliation, then based on the contractual arrangements of our teams to go ahead and build them based on the activity that we see on our records, along with the GSM companies, what they are reporting.
So I don't know, meaning that you have TIA has its most of the equipment installed at its office.
Yes, they have their own technicians in the back end, and we have our LTA staff.
So do they have equipment installed at the different telecommunications offices, or where they have their equipment installed?
They meaning TIA or?
No, the phone companies. They have their equipment that monitor, that give account of all calls, right?
Mm-hmm. They have, the companies record, they have a recording, the call data record. So it may be in the form of a CD or scan. So they protect, they have to keep that for their own records. And we do the live recording. We meaning TIA / the LTA staff. So at the end of each 30-day period, we have a report of what we see, and we also give them the benefit to do our declaration of what they have in terms of the data, for incoming, outgoing voice.
So over the period, how has that comparison been?
Okay, the question is very general, but sometimes we have not a lot of.
My question is in terms of accuracy, on your side.
Well, we have times where, of course, it would dispute, and there's discrepancy because we have a challenge sometimes. Some months we have missing files. Like when you do the monitoring and all that, there's some glitches in the system, and we don't get all of the information.
From your side,
from the GSM. I mean, TIA, LT they work as a team. So we have our record, and when the GSM companies produce theirs, sometimes they will dispute. When the numbers are too high, they disagree with us, and then we have to either they provide additional information to clear out the discrepancies.
So let's understand that. So when your numbers are too high,
well, it could be too high or too low, but once if there is a significant discrepancy, we have, it's like accounting or whatever thing, you have to sit and see where the variances is coming from. Sometimes we'll have higher numbers because they refused or they did not provide certain information, or in their instances, when they gave us the CDR and produced whatever we have missing to complete our report, then we come to a general understanding. But we do that month after month. Some months there may be no significant disputes. Other months there will be discrepancies that our technical teams will have to sit together and address.
Okay, so I'd like to move on to my next point. Initially, we had the Global Voice acting group and then what? GVG, right? From the best of my recollection, when GVG came in, the understanding was that you went there before on you went there before, right?
No. This is my first experience, and I was not there when GVG was there. It was
Okay, so basically, from the best of my recollection, when GVG came, who are the legislature, the understanding was that they was going to provide equipment, build the system, operate, and transfer the building capacity of the telecommunication network. That didn't happen after there was a change of government. Before they continue after that, and after there was a change of government, TIA came in. Then the LTA worked with the executive to propose a concession. Every day, I think it's 20 or 25 years, which denied the capacity building that was anticipated. As the new board of commissioners, like the chairman just rightly stated that all stakeholders will have to work together. I see it as a serious problem. How do you think we all can work together correctly? Because it undermines the capacity of the PC to grow. To enhance state revenue generation.
Senator, you are correct. There was, I think, when the original understanding in 2018, when this contract was set up, it was intended to be BOT, build, operate, transfer. So technically, by now, our people should be ready running it without the TIA involvement. But then there was some amendment in the process which kind of compromised the whole intent of this arrangement. When we took over, we took a lot of steps as a board to review the justice in different places. But in terms of the actual work with our team, we had to have the TIA recommit in terms of building the capacity, but in no training ever took place since 2018, as I was told. So we re-engaged with TIA. I think we had two different teams that we sent out to the country to Ghana to study and or learn more of what the TIA people do. So we believe that more has to be done in terms of training to build the capacity to where we have the other technicians in the back end. We also, I'm sidetracked now. There was another component of your question in terms of the capacity building and something else, but I lost track.
Let's move on. One of the committee and the committee wants to be on those notes. So I have two more points, Mr. Chairman, just quickly. The other issue has to do with data bundles or communication bundles. When you buy a particular bundle, sometimes they say maybe you have 210 minutes and you have 15 gigabytes of data. And after some times, when you buy, it's reduced. I'd like to know that the Telecommunications Authority is aware or you review these activities and give approval. Because if I buy the data bundle today, let me skip the data bundle. If I buy a data bundle today, and that data bundle contains 15 gigabytes of data, then after 2 months when I buy, it's reduced to 10 gigabytes of data. I'd like to know what role the Telecommunications Authority play in the process. Because most times we are not informed, no public announcement or awareness, and we only see it once we buy a bundle. Then let me ask my last question so you guys can address those together. The other issue has to do with unused data or unused minutes. The practice is that if I buy a bundle and I entitled to a certain amount of minutes or data, I have to use that in 1 month. It's a 30-day window that you have to use whatever you purchase. You can use it within 30 days, but you could actually use what you're entitled to within 10 days or even 1 day. But you have a 30-day window period. Sometimes what you pay for, take for instance, if I buy a bundle and I travel and I don't use it, and after 30 days I return, what happens to my data bundle to the minutes? So those are the last two concerns.
Mr. Chairman, all right, so Senator, the two questions to me can be addressed in one. First, the first concern is promotion for the data bundle, and then unused data. So, if, for example, the company tells you, you give me $5, I will give you maybe 2 gig or whatever that promotional package is. But when I give you this 2 gig, mostly the promotional offer is most times more than what you will receive if you're doing a normal recharge. But that's what they call it, promotion. So,
Mr. Chairman, so I don't know why it's promotional, because most times, even right now, if you go, you see 30-day bundle, 1 week bundle.
Yeah, that's
so I know where it's promotional.
Yeah, that's promotional.
So what role is LTA playing in the process?
Okay, so
how is it regulated?
Okay, so the role LTA plays. First, if you get a promotional package and you travel, for example, you get 3 days promotional package, and on your first day you travel, you stay there for 3 days. Because it's promotional, when you come back, that offer will not be valid anymore. The next scenario would be you buy your data, it's not promotional. You buy direct recharge. That one, whether you travel and stay for 1 year and you come back, your credit should be there. The next scenario would be you do your promotion, and then after the first day, maybe you have used 30% of your package, and then the network goes off. That's part of the complaint that we receive. The network goes off. That is not the fault of the consumer. So if it is established that I bought my credit promotional package in 1 day, the remaining 2 days the network went off. When that network comes on, the company should restore that package. Most times, no complaints come and we address them. But what role the LTA plays? Normally, before the company puts in the public a promotional package, by the rules, that company should submit to LTA. The LTA for the next, because promotional offer is not forever. Because the danger of that is if you allow promotional packages to stay too long, the public gets adjusted. The day you try to change it, it seems as though the government is increasing the price. But before the companies come in the public to announce promotional packages, the rule says that you submit to LTA that we will soon be putting this in the public. The LTA clears it and then inform the public. I'm not sure if that answers the question. But if it is promotional package and you travel for 2 days,
no, so basically I'm concerned about the way the sector is being regulated. Yes. Because in most time, we all here can attest to the fact that for more than maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, 7 years, we have had. So what is being charged?
what is the actual charge is not what the phone companies are using. They rely on promotion. If the reliance is on promotion, then why don't we charge what is being offered in the promotional packages? Rather than giving a high data cost, and the phone companies are not going by that, but they rely on promotional packages. Meaning that what they are negotiating with you should not be the actual fees to be charged, or the actual amounts to be charged.
Let me polish it. So you have price floor.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Are they in terms of revenue projection? Do you base that on the limit of the price flow or on the bonanza? I think that's what the Senate has agreed.
When you are doing your budget, the revenue projections are based on the regular charge, because from the beginning of the year, Chair and single senators, you most likely will not know what proportional packages are going to come in the course of the year. So if I'm getting Chair, the revenue projections are based on the regular pricing. In the course of the year, but of course the regulator is aware that there will be promotion. That's why promotions are not supposed to be known as we have the floor price. And the reason why we're having, and maybe this will address your concern, the reason why we haven't moved the floor price, because floor price to set it either floor or price ceiling, whatever it is, ceiling or floor, it has to be done in line with a clear analysis of the sector. Now, the World Bank has done a study. First of all, we're even asking ourselves, do we really need floor price? In other countries, they don't have floor price. But those decisions are not taken in haste, unless you have a data that shows clearly that as a country, you cannot do the floor price and stay survive, the sector stays survive. So our floor price is still in place. Now it stands at 0.0074 for voice call and data. So once the World Bank report comes and we take a look at the entire sector, we might take a decision to say, look, don't have floor price. But that is, you have analyzed the data and you show you can remove a floor price and still be safe as a package. But Senator, I'd like to say something. That in 2018, the floor price was set 0.00153. I'm not sure I've done the number, but it was 0.0153. That's a very high price. And that was, do not charge below this. That means you cannot charge lower than that. And that's the same thing I was talking, because you have two companies. If those two companies decide that the government has this as a price floor, okay, for competition, somebody will bring it below the floor price. So there is always constant monitoring. That's how our monitors pick up that this guy has come below the floor price and he has to go back there. But because the floor price, it was around 2023, I believe that the government became a little bit relaxed. Because when the company started charging lower than the floor price, the government back then did not push it up. They say go back up the floor price. And the public got used to the reduced amount. When we took over and tried to touch the floor price, they say go back to the floor price, the public thought that the government was increasing the cost of telecommunication unlike the past regime. That had to be, we had to be very careful, or else it would be seen as increasing. That's why we said, okay, hold it at this price until the World Bank report comes in. When we should have done clear analysis, we can determine first what should be the floor price, or whether we should have floor price at all. We haven't made that decision. It's my understanding that the World Bank will soon submit their report to us. When we go through it again, that decision to remove or determine prices on the market, telecommunication has become like rice. So it's become a political commodity. Before we touch any price, even after the World Bank shall report it, I'm sure the LTA will want to consult more with other players in the sector, government players, including yourself, so that we all, whatever decision we take, it is taken as a government. Or else we will be seen as increasing the prices, and you can never tell. Everybody will come in the street and say, oh, government has increased the prices. So we are doing that study. Once that is done, we reform the committee that this is a finding from the World Bank. We are making a determination to remove the floor price or to keep it at a particular level. But it cannot be an FTA decision alone, because you cannot tell. Everybody is a public interest service. So we're very careful how to check the floor price. But now we're keeping it at 0.0074 until the determination is finally made.
Thank you. Senator Cornell, what about
Senator Dion?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for giving me the opportunity to ask a few questions. I want to start by joining other colleagues who have spoken before me to congratulate the nominees on their preferment. Like others that had the opportunity to work with. All of them except for Mr. Peter, whom I have seen for the first time. Congratulations to you for the preferment. You know, the telecom sector is an important economic sector for us globally. It has offered the most promising opportunity for innovation. I hope you understand that my questions are intended to support that, so that as you continue to work now in your full capacity, you'll really be the regulator of last resort to ensure that we leverage the presence here of the technology to innovate in our schools, in our hospitals, in our banking systems, and so on and so forth. I would like to start by prefacing that in 2023, LTA's contribution to the budget was 3.8 billion. Too small for the size of the sector. So in 2024, we'll try to work with you to do that. I believe the projection then was 3.5%, to be corrected, Mr. Chair, the only revenue committee. I'd like to ask first, what is FTA's projected contribution revenue in our budget this year, 2025? Mr. Chairman, designate. Or anybody.
Chair, thank you. The senior senator. Last year, 2023, so 2023 budget, obviously, we wanted LTA April 2024. So except if I can do a research to see, it would be difficult for me to confirm or deny a 2023 contribution to the national budget since I was in
No, that's confirmed. It was, it's recorded.
Okay.
It's public information.
Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you, Senator. In 2024, LTA projected contribution to the budget was placed at, we comfortably accepted that we would contribute 10 billion. Well, we felt a little bit, I can find the numbers there so in the public, but LTA contributed not less than 9.8 million US dollars.
In 2024?
In 2024.
Okay.
So our projected contribution was 10.5. The last record, and I'm saying it because most times when contributions are made from the LTA, the LRA, and I've seen it for more than 2-3 times now, there's always an issue of reconciling the books. So most times there are contributions from the LTA and the LRA captures it as payment from the companies. Okay, so that situation existed for some time, but the final figure cannot be less than 9.8 million US.
So you're speaking of the sector as a whole?
No, that is LTA's contribution to the budget.
Okay, even the one that they capture from the telcos?
No. So the one from the telcos are not. No, we don't capture them.
Okay.
What we capture is so the revenue sharing now as it stands, and the Senator Duque asked about TIA because we have a contract with TIA for the different. There are revenues that TIA doesn't have share in. There are revenues that they have a share in our contract. It doesn't matter whether I agree with it or not, but that's a contract we inherited. So when the payment is made, TIA gets 49% of the revenue stream that they have a right to by contract. The remaining 51 that stays with the government, what counts as LTA is dependent on what the decision is from the capital building during the budget year. So if the budget committee decides that LTA will contribute 51% of that revenue, then the figures are determined. The 2024 was 10.5 million. This year, our contribution was projected at 10.3 million. That's what we signed up to. As it stands, we will pay up to $6.6 million. So if you are to prorate the number, we don't, and that's as of June. So by the time you go and reconcile the revenue collection as of July up to December, I can safely say that LTA can meet that target.
Okay. Thank you for that, Chair. I want to continue the same revenue discussion vis-a-vis Starlink, last connectivity brought in to support the digital inclusion that Patrick talked about. Starlink is unique. It's different from the telcos we have here. You're aware of that?
Yes.
Can you tell this committee and the Senate what the considerations that you had when you made this decision for Starlink licensing and how Starlink's presence in Liberia affects GST that the telecom companies are paying? Can you tell us if Starlink is paying goods and services tax to support you to raise more revenue for us to undertake more development work or to improve the sector? Or is there a revenue sharing model for them?
Thank you, Mr. Senator. First, Starlink license was each on the basis of provisional license given 1 year. Why? Because our license regime did not accommodate our sector. It was limited, so we gave them 1 year provisional license so that we can understand them at the same time to review our lesson regime to make sure that the lesson regime capture that model of telecommunication.
Now, basically, like in the mining sector, this is prospecting.
Yes.
They have a prospecting license they gave in the mining sector.
You can see that.
So that's what you gave to them.
Yes,
so you can understand it
yes,
and see whether it fits our purpose and if we can get some money out of it as well
yes,
for the people.
Yes. And the 10 of lessons we gave them, that 10 of lessons made them fully tax compliant. The GST applicable, in fact, LRA have confirmed that they are paying the GST on time.
Starlink?
Yes, they are paying. We got a confirmation from the LRA. And also, there are a percentage of our staff as per their lesson, they are also paying that as well. So after the 1 year, after understudying them, if we found that they are being here, will be productive, we have to expand the market or the market to grow for benefit or better services, may get in a full-time lesson, like probably from 5 to 10 or 15 years like we did for other people. If we found that they have been here with other money market, generally, we may not renew their lesson. So we have full order with the server team. And even from the onset, we almost did not give them the lesson, but there was a political pressure from all angles. That's starting here.
But it's good. That's it.
Starting here. Don't let them go by.
Okay.
I mean, so
Elon Musk.
So they are here with us.
Okay, Mr. Commissioner, could you please, if you can, maybe through the chairman, share the GST data from LRA, just for us to be aware. Okay, let me continue because I don't have much time. You know, SIMBAX, SIM, SIMBAX fraud is one of the most prevalent fraud in the telecom sector. I know when I was here before I left as Minister of Finance, we worked together with the telecom sector when I was planning to bring the ACE cable, and I found out to try to make that to work. So I know a little bit about some issues there. Feedback fraud happened when I was here. I would like to know maybe from Angela about this. If this is happening, for those who don't know, basically, SIMBAX consists of diverting international calls, right? Using voice over IP, so that when you call abroad, when Liberia from abroad, the call comes in as a Liberian number to avoid paying tariff on it, which robs us of revenue. But there's technology to prevent that. Can you tell us if you have done anything at all, if you have anything in place to prevent this massive fraud that is hemorrhaging our revenue?
Yes, Honorable Senator, thank you for this opportunity. Yeah, we do still have, and I recall when you're talking about in terms of those boxes that we put in certain locations to kind of intercept those trying to create fraud through the internet and then coming back to Liberia to pay the international call, like they're dialing local numbers. We have instances like that. We don't use the boxes that we had in different locations in the past because it's covered under TIA. So sometimes we report it, we get reports from the monitoring company. Sometimes we have individuals who report to the LTA that, international calls coming in as local number, and then our fraud team will go and go ahead and block the number. But I sincerely believe that there's more that we can do, and instead of leaving it with the monitoring company, and our teams are doing some remote efforts to introduce maybe what we did in the past as an added step to avoid these unauthorized calls, which is basically fraudulent. So we are, on top of it, trying to put in efforts to avoid that.
Police, this is very important. It's a big scheme in the telecom sector where people make money off of these calls. When the country does not make anything out of them. Which brings me to the TIA contract. Before TIA, there was GVG, correct? Correct?
Yes.
I recall that the GVG contract was for 5 years. Am I correct?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, but I heard you, Angela, or somebody say that the TIA contract was for 10 years. Did I hear you right?
Well, I don't remember saying years, but I said the initial contract was for 2018. And after 2018, I believe there was supposed to be a review process. And during that review, the government at the time decided to make this a concession. I think it was probably in 2005, based on the records that we have, 2005, 2006. So currently, they have a concession with us, with the government of Liberia. So it's no longer a BOT. It's now a concession arrangement where we have a profit sharing, with the government of Liberia. And
how long is the concession? 25 years?
20 years.
20 years?
Yes.
Okay, so this is just like, for for the revenue sector like NETEC, for the post sector like CTN. So you have your own NETEC and CTN situation as well. So that you know, we're giving concession to people for 20 years, no problem. But yet, the SIM-BAX issue is still there. We're losing revenue. We have increased use of data in this country. When everybody is on social media, making calls, using messengers and WhatsApp and so on, they use data, right? Okay. So the issue there, Mr. Chair and Commissioner, is that we need to really understand from you the status of the incoming calls, because you have a company that is monitoring that for you through this concession. And also, we want to be able to know, with the increase in data usage, whether direct calls is bringing in the projection that we made in terms of tariff, right? My understanding of this is that after a certain number of years, you, the LTA, should have the capacity to do this work, so that the revenue sharing with TIA is not necessary. Then we can bring in more money on budget and fix our problems, new problems that we have to do. And I think this is where Mr. Vega, the technical person, you can be useful. Have you done anything about this? As a technical person, have you recommended anything to the board at all? This way about to go on.
When it comes to that, I have not been in that area.
You have not gone in that area?
No, I haven't.
You have not looked there?
Yes, I haven't.
Well, Mr. Baker, your resume says that you've been in the engineer and all these technical positions for all of the LTA chairpersons since my big brother Abdullah Bandi. And this issue is a perennial issue for the sector. You, the regulator, you're supposed to advise these commissioners. Have you given them a proposal on technology that they can use or put pressure on this TIA to make sure that the SIM-BAX issue is fixed and that the averting cost and us losing revenue is corrected using technology, and the technology is there?
You know, that particular area, and it just have to do with the technology.
Huh?
And they have to do with humanitarian.
So are you telling me that the concession we have with TIA is managerial, is not technical?
Do you know where about that? Where you were there?
No. So TIA is doing administrative work for the LTA, is that what you're telling us? Or they're doing technical work in the background to stop the hemorrhaging of revenue? Mr. Chairman, he doesn't have the answer. Do you?
Mr. Chair, and
Order, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair.
Order, Mr. Chairman. Yeah. Corner asked a couple of questions generally for the nominees to answer. But this one was directed specifically toward the technical guy. And I think for his suitability, he should answer this question.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's my point. Answer the question. All of them.
The man answered it. They tell him, I want to make an identity. The man answered it, better go. Is that managerial? Let's see. No, he's satisfied with it.
Mr. Chairman, people were here. Mr. Chairman, I will attempt with your permission because I think this question, Senator, is very important. Not just from the technical side, but from the revenue side. Most of the questions that you ask got technical component, got technical flavor, but basically points to revenue issues. When I made an intervention earlier, I mentioned how much we contribute to the budget and what constitutes how is calculated. So you have 100 because you have a contract with TIA, and that contract was supposed to be build, operate, and transfer. 2018, the contract was initially for 8 years, and the contract terms is in 4 years, review me. At the end of the 8th year, by the end of the 8th year, Chair, I said review. The contract terms say in 4 years, review me. At the end of the 8th year, I should be ending. But just in case you plan to extend, then extend me by 4 years. There was after 4 years you are in, so 49, 51, and then after 4 years should be 45, 50, 55. 55 obviously for government and the rest of it. In 2022, based on the record before us, in 2022, the BOT transitioned to a concession. I am mindful not to declare anything as illegal, especially when I see a concession certificate printed, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, everything signature. Well, it was my personal testimony, but saying this is not my personal testimony. So the concession of 20 years, and I will be there. And the chair ruled on a previous conversation and said this could be held in committee room. So I'm in love with it. But yeah, so I would like to. So I would like to because the chair had ruled before. Yeah. I'm just trying to remember.
I don't want to force you to say anything against the chair's ruling.
Yes.
But I flagged this issue for, like you said, not for technical subject.
Yes.
But mainly for revenue.
Yeah, you were.
Cell phones came to this country when President Taylor was president. Let's not be mad, guys.
Correct.
It's been a long time. The two biggest carriers, you say you have 4 or 5 or something, right?
On the books 5, but in practice.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is, between MTN and Orange, there's a lot of money they are making in this country. When you listen to the number you just put out, 2018, the very year we signed this concession, yes, we only contributed to the creative budget.
Yeah.
While the telephone companies are making hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue in this sector, but we are getting very small. And I'm not trying to grasp any politically. I want you to think about this. To go in there and keep behind as a regulator to bring more money on budget. Why? Because President Donald Trump has cut about $100 million of support to our country. We should not be shy to tell each other that. We are on our own, folks. If we don't look internally and scrub whatever we can scrub, this political talk about $1 billion budget will not happen. You have to be intentional and go after our money. You put the Simba's issue to rest. You put the buses around to take this call so that the revenue can come. I got my last question, Mr. Chair. You talk about my county is very rural. It's one of the poorest counties in Liberia. My senior senator is on the committee, she can attest to this.
You have to
Our towns have towers that are 2Gs. All over the country. Our capital city sometimes can go without service for days. Bobulu. Our people don't have access to the data tower, the 3Gs. Please, we are begging you, as you do this digital inclusion, please think about us over there. The last one is the ACE cable. That's it, the ACE cable. I know the ACE cable very well. Mr. Kuma is here. We work together with Angela then to land that cable. Maybe everybody knows where it is now. But we used to keep it secret for national security reasons. Where it's the PHP. And then it's allocated at 45% for the carriers. 100% minus 45%. Huh? Why are we doing 55? Demand and supply. When you supply very little, you choke the market, the price goes up. Who benefits? The telco companies. As we are seeing, those guys are making money because you get very few to them, and then the 55 is just sitting there and nobody's using it, and we're not collecting revenue on it, folks. Why? Can you assure us that when we confirm you go over there and open it up so that the demand and supply is at equilibrium and prices can be low for our people and we can get more revenue? Can you give us that assurance? My vote for you will depend on that.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair, Honorable Senator, yes, I mentioned that we will be very big on rural connectivity. And Senator, as you expressed about your county, I do not think that your concern is only about Babolu. You are a senator from Babolu, so obviously you reasonably, understandably will start from Babolu. But this is a national concern. Senator, it will interest you that last week we took a trip. We took a trip not to Riverside, not to Grand Gide, to Monserrado, rural Monserrado. Started from Louisiana, right here, Crusoeville, Louisiana. We intended to go to Todi. It was a little bit off the time and we came back. But to Crusoeville, and I'm saying it here because we are on oath, to Crusoeville, got to an MTN tower. On the books, MTN has 677 towers nationally. And then those ones are distributed among the different technology, 2G and the rest of it. Got to Crusoeville, there's an MTN tower standing there very beautifully down. You get under the tower, not inside, in Crusoeville, right here. And the signal was down.
You mean now you're Grand Crew?
Now you're Grand Crew.
And now you're about to too many there.
And I'm saying this, Senator, for all of us here, our colleagues. The committee is heavily engaged with us. But this board can assure you that on our own, with nobody right, on our own will give the relevant report to you. To go to Crusoeville and see Crusoeville, not even in local part of Liberia, they are concerned. So, intentionally, you could decide, it's just like in our national budget, we take the money and put it small, and maybe I hope I don't go overboard.
Don't go.
But, yeah, I form one. But, will be big, chief.
Yeah, I know where you're going. We'll keep that for the budget hearing.
But to the coverage, I'm giving all our premiums to see how big we intend to be on rural connectivity. Senator, on an average, if the guy in the village has to travel maybe 1 hour to have access to the coverage and he goes, if that guy pays $100, maybe he goes there 3 times a week. If he pays $100 to go and come back, $200 per day, $600 per week. If you're to give that guy even a 2G tower there and stop him from going 1 hour before he places a call, you are saving him $2,400 per month. So this pole intends to be big on rural connectivity. Like I said from the beginning, from the business perspective, their profit is in money. But as a government, if we can take it upon ourselves, turn it up, because we even trying to put into place infrastructure regulation. In some countries, companies don't build towers for themselves. The government invests in it, or the government can find another company that comes and say, I'm not going to give you any coverage. My job is to build the towers in the places that you force your service providers to hold up to it. That will become another concession. It is not like that here. We have a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Momi. To the east tower, will you make sure that the other 45% were over?
So the east cable is we are regulating. The east cable is managed by the government through CCL, the consortium. As a regulator, it will be
part of this.
Well, government as a regulator, you cannot have the red, but government has a 55%. We try not to be territorial, so I'm sure CCL will not have a problem with the LTA suggesting. As a board, if you were to ask me if we will make effort, yes, we will make effort, we will make suggestions to the chief executive. If you were to ask me from a business perspective, I would ask you, unravel the 55%. Even if it means increase what you are giving up to the service providers. In our case, we have, like I said from the beginning, what we're doing is we have the warehouse, we lock it. So if you ask the board, yes, Senator, it may not be under our control, but we can suggest that open a warehouse, put the goods outside. Even at a minimum price, you have more services going out, it will affect the prices down, but also increase revenue. As it stands, we have 55% in a very tightly closed, locked warehouse, and I hope CCL can allow us to partner with them through the chief executive to open a warehouse and put the goods outside.
Thank you
so much. Thank you for the opportunity to ask questions.
Thank you. Senator Dillon, followed by Senator Tory.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For full disclosure, the whole world knows Patrick Honor is my friend. And not only that the world knows, because it is true. And when you have a friend like Patrick before me for confirmation hearing, it becomes like a tough call. But duty calls, so we have to work. I'd like to ask each of you, the nominees, first question. Have you read the LTA Act in full? Question.
Yes, I have several times.
Okay. I said each of you.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. I didn't hear you. Thank you. The act that you read, each of you, I want to believe that you read it with your full understanding. Each of you, should you be confirmed, you will serve a tenure position, correct?
Yes, correct.
Yes, correct.
Tenure has been defined by the Supreme Court as a contract, which is protected under Article 25 of the Constitution, that it should not be impaired. Correct? So if we confirm you, we'll be confirming you to a position to which there have been occupants in those positions with current contract that should be protected by law. If we should confirm you, will be aiding and abetting the impairment of a contract guaranteed under Article 25. Correct?
I can't speak to that. I can't speak to the coroner on that.
No.
Or you can speak to that one.
The coroner is not there.
Senator, yes, the law, we read the law. I fully, obviously we cannot dispute Article 25. So if a tenure position is not vacant, then there is an implication there. As far as we are concerned, as far as we know, those positions as they now, all 5 positions are vacant. And so therefore, it now gives the president the right now, legally, constitutionally, to nominate for the filling of those positions. So if I were to be confirmed, I will be going into a position that is vacant. And at that, the very Article 25 of the Constitution, and I'm not a lawyer, there are lawyers around, all sections of the Constitution, no part of the Constitution is of less weight or less importance to another side. So 25 is guaranteed, but there's also a portion of the Constitution that gives the president right to nominate with the consent of the Senate, appoint and commission, and the president shall do so when those positions are vacant. I agree with the provision that there was a Supreme Court ruling, and in line with that ruling, the president determined that he would suspend. Those who got suspended went to the Supreme Court with a bill of information, and the Supreme Court, the state Supreme Court, ruled that by the president's administrative powers, he was fully supported by the Constitution to take the decision he took. So as it stands, I believe that the president, by nominating us, has done so in the confines of the very Constitution.
The LTA, while you were acting, still acting by that in your current role as a nominee, is there within your certain knowledge that LTA entered into a settlement contract agreement to let off the occupant of the office to create a vacancy, and the condition is payment, then vacancy? You want to let's work on our own.
The chair, thanks for the reminder. In most of my presentations, I premised that whatever I say here, I say so against the backdrop that I just told you. And as somebody who stayed on our oath for 12 years, know very well the weight of being on oath. So whatever we say here, and I can say that for all my colleagues, we are very cognizant that the oath that we take is not just to you, but it's to the Constitution and the President of you. Are we in the know of the contract? Both decisions are taken in boardroom and resolution. I saw copies of resolutions. In those letters, I don't see conditions set in. Has there been discussions around those who were commissioners? Yes, I said to the chair that I keep hearing that there are conversations. If those conversations come to the attention of the board, this is what we have in place. I am not sure that this board will be insensitive
I would ask the chair and the members of the committee that I am aware of reservations before me. I don't have contracts. Have I heard about discussions around possibilities that there could be contracts? Yes, I have heard so. And I am sure once confirmed, even before confirmation, come in contact with those if they exist. I'm sure we'll.
I asked if you've seen the contract. No.
This board has not received a contract.
So, a contract signed by Abdullah Kamara as acting chair in his role on behalf of the board is not valid.
I have not spoken to the validity of the contract. I said that this board, as a board, is in possession of no contract. However, if it were to come to the attention of the board, this board cannot ignore.
Mr. Nomini, your experience in investigating matter will not talk. That is we talking to. So, to say that you are not in a no is not the same as no, because you want off and you've been smartly evasive. Simple. So let us proceed. Yeah, two hours, regardless of the day, I don't think that I mean want to that. So let's come to one or two questions here. There was Senator Nukwe who asked for Senator Amara comment. I picked up something. I paid for, and you charged me $3 unlimited. Not a promotional thing. You say it is unlimited for 30 days. If it is 30 gigabytes for 15 days, you use it before 15 days fund. If it is 100 gigabytes for 30 days, if you use it before 30 days fund. But you say $100 unlimited for 30 days. Unlimited. After 20 days, unlimited fee before 30 days. What happened there? Question.
Senator, I'm not sure we have any unlimited as we speak. But let me just say that when Orange and Celcom came into the market, they introduced what is famously called 3-day free calls. And that messaging sold a lot. And everybody said, bring back our 3-day free calls. But every business makes profit. And later many people know that it was a strategy, a business strategy to get profit. I'd like to say that in November of last year, as we said earlier, we signed the consumer protection regulation. As part of that is deceptive messaging. We have been very clear with the service providers, the MNOs, that as much as possible, that regulation imposes fines of up to $5,000 and more US dollars in an event where our technical team captures deceptive messaging. And I'm saying this to say that when you say unlimited calls, unlimited data, and within a space of time, unlimited in the true context of the usage of the word means clearly unlimited.
Correct.
And if you say that, we must be able to achieve that. We have this agreement under this regulation with the service providers, and just a week ago we had a meeting with them on basic things like the call response. When you pick up the phone and call somebody, you call the 111, they send you to something else. So we've been very clear with them. And I'm not sure right now there's 3-day unlimited.
Mr. Nominee, are you saying to me that there is nothing called unlimited or LTE is not aware of?
No, I'm saying to you that, well, when you say unlimited,
yes,
in the true context of the word unlimited, it should be unlimited, correct?
Correct.
Great.
Yeah.
So it depends the package. If it's $50 package, for example, in data bundles, and you get unlimited, you can tell me that one will finish. But for dollar 3-day unlimited,
I was not talking about 3 days.
There is no unlimited dollar 3 days.
You can't say 3 days unlimited. I'm saying if you say 3 days, it's not unlimited, limited to 3 days. If you say the package is unlimited for 30 days, that means you can leave TV on. If you own internet, it's unlimited for 30 days. 30 days should not be reduced because you let your phone on or your TV on. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you, sir.
Are you saying that LTE is not aware of any?
I will kindly ask you if, I'm sure you have the basic information about this. I will kindly ask you to share with us that particular information about the unlimited you're talking about. Right. We'll pick this up. Okay. We'll pick this up.
Go ahead. We have 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G. What kind of G do we have in Africa?
We have 2G in Liberia for the rural areas, 3G and 4G in Liberia. And we're just having conversations with the telcos about the possibility of introducing 5G. There is an application already on the LTA for 5G. In fact, there are 2 applications for 5G.
You know, I'm not a technical person and I'm completely novice to that. But I want to ask again, are you convincing me and sure that we have 4G in Liberia?
Yes, sir, we have 4G in Liberia.
So why is it the 4G, 5G in other countries faster than our speed that we have?
Senator, the engineers and our technical person is here, but I can see clearly that there is a regulation for quality of service, and that has to do also with speed and drop balls and all of that. There are too many things surrounding that we can talk about. But I can say to you that yes, there is 2G, there is 3G, there is 4G, and we have initiated discussions on the possibility of having 5G in Liberia. Yes, sir.
TIA, Senator Conan elaborated on that. So TIA is part of the reason the data charges and call charges are high. Correct? Okay, so let me bring my question. LTA is supposed to, LTA is the institution that's supposed to even perform what TIA is performing.
LTA is to perform what TIA is performing?
Yes. Yes.
Well, yes and no. Because if we go by the 2018 initial contract.
No. No. I'm not talking about contract. Okay. What is TIA doing the contract?
They're monitoring voice and data.
Who getting the authority?
The contract with LTA gives them the authority.
LTA gave them the authority. That means that LTA had the authority. LTA functioned. The concession to TIA.
Well, yeah, technically, yeah.
So I know what I'm asking.
So I would say yes.
Good. So instead of LTA staff performing that function, the concession, the function to TIA will take 70% and give the Liberian government through LTA 30%, correct?
Currently, it's not at 70, it's at 49, I think 31.
So, okay, so, but if LTA get our contract, LTA would do that function and get 100%.
We did that, we have 100%.
Then LTA revenue will grow.
The government,
Then the government Liberia revenue will grow.
correct.
So then, in effect, LTA ought to do that function.
Well, I wouldn't speak because it was,
Forget about the contract that existed.
yeah, currently,
If we cancel the contract,
If it is possible.
if it is possible to cancel the contract, just like if it is possible to undo the method thing, so that LRA alone can do custom business, revenue business, then we reduce charges on our people. If we can cancel the TR contract by law, does LTA have the capacity to perform that function that is assigned to them by law? Then, by that, the cost and prices on our people will reduce in the telecommunications sector because TR's involvement is also increasing the cost.
yeah, Senator, we were talking about revenue, something, so I'll be very careful how I do it, and the answer is no. Our people are not, they have not been trained at that level, so you don't want to do it wrong. But they have the capacity to be able to perform and do that function.
How long TR been already?
Well, they've been existing since 2018.
And no provision for skills transfer,
There was
capacity building.
There was a provision, that's why I said earlier, the original 2018 call for BOT, Built Operate Transfer. Contract was reviewed, it was changed into a concession. Until our team came on board in 2024, none of our staff had been trained in anything. So it was under our leadership that these people, two groups went to Accra, and the feedback we're getting is just to do front-end work. They're still lacking in the capacity to do the back-end work. So we have engineers there, they can do the work, but of course there has to be period of training, period of transition for us to risk that amount of revenue, over to our team. But yes, it can be done.
So, in effect, and maybe this will be of the discussion here. In effect, we increasing hardship on our people in every sector. The function of government institution will concession them, and the concessionaire get additional money when the government is supposed to get 100% of it, and by doing that, charges will reduce on our people. Like NETEC, like now TIA, APN Terminal, CTN, LMT with the transport sector, which all the government functions, we just give it to concession people and then give overtime and then anyway.
And none of them are Liberian.
Yeah, my father was. Okay, yeah.
Chair. Yeah, Senator. Yeah. Senator, thank you. Mr. Chairman, member of the committee. Sometimes these decisions are very critical, and before all of us, they have different training. I want a business college. If I were making a personal business decision, some of the things we've inherited as a government, and this is not just the telecom sector, as a government, as a whole, I'm sure the decisions will be different. LTA is not doing the monitoring now, but LTA can do. I said from the beginning that the government
at least for this sector, what I'm concerned about. We have to be in Liberian to invest. To invest. Okay? The government has to invest. There are some suggestions, not just about TRA, it's not just about TRA, but as holistically. We will not be definite in this area, but we will be coming back from time to time. With suggestions, with proposals. Senator, do you know that when you buy on Amazon, for example, right? You buy online. There's a message that comes to you. You buy on Amazon, you buy on, a message comes to you. It's A to B. That is an untapped revenue source. So that's A to B is application of the person. I'm proposing to you, without going into the details, the TIA, the A2P, the IMER, I will appeal to the committee that this board, once confirmed, will be coming with proposals. We may not be able to dig into what the feature was. The chair has said we discuss these issues, but not just the ones that we have on the book now, we'll be coming with more proposals. I think if the committee accepts that, I can assure you that we'll be coming back to you, not even when you go on our own, to discuss these things.
Thank you.
Yeah, just one more question. Mr. Pega. Mr. Pega, why should I confirm you? Question.
Well, Honorable Senator, you know, confirm because of what I have achieved over the years. It is my intention to work for the Liberian people, to benefit the Liberian people. I have worked in telecommunications for a number of years, and I have been working as a team. In teamwork, we got success. When we work together as a team, I feel with myself that the Liberian people benefit. They will benefit every one of us. So with that in mind, I think we can amend it.
Thank you.
We are all human beings, and so sometimes these things slip.
Yes, sir.
The framers of the Constitution did not make confirmation a statutory thing or regulation. They made it constitutional. This is a job interview. We are the last vetting committee of the Republic to determine whether people will go in certain positions. And you come for the job interview, you convince me. I'm the potential employer here with my vote. And I'm going to be blunt. Then you convince me. Technical error, you're not convincing me. When they ask technical question, you say it's managerial. When they ask managerial question, then you look at the acting chair. So what are you going to do over there?
Because he's technical man.
So I know, Pega, you are, I didn't want to sound like that, but sound like a joke. I know you from my ethnic group. It's easy for me to vote for you. But you see the people that are back there and the people that are out there with the placard and the billboard, everybody wants to confirm you. You want to be tough here? Some people will murmur. When we pass here and you're doing the work, they can say we don't want king here to support the people. They can say, but end of your vote, end of your confirm them. We the one can take it. So sometimes let us do our work. Lastly, for all of you, have you declared your answer? Question.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Nigga. He declared. The main declare, say I'm declare. You all know. Then that's okay, how long you been at LTA? How long you been at LTA in the commissioner role?
No.
Then no need to
I'm not the commissioner.
Okay, any job nominated?
Yes, sir.
How long? Yes, nominated, yes, you got one there, boy. All right. That's all right.
Last week.
Forget it. All right. That's all right. It's a bad
I've declared. I've declared.
No, I got a question for you. The nomination.
Thank you very much. Senator Bill Traore, from Senator Dara and Dara, Senator Poto County.
Hold that phone.
Hold that phone. Hold that phone. Congratulations to the 5 communities who have defended. You said that LTC is becoming a liability. If I got it right. Is that true?
I said that if the government takes a decision to have a third player in the sector, it will be advisable. I am regulated, I cannot determine what exactly the decision of the LTC. But it will be advisable to have partnership with LTC. I am in meetings, Minister of Finance called a meeting and said,
I want to be short. Did I hear you say that LTC is becoming a liability?
I said LTC could become a liability in visa. So I said that in light of proposing that the central government help LTC become vibrant. So in that context.
In your expose, you said that LTC of Gambia, with 2.7 million people, they have about 4 years of competition. So there is competition, and because of competition, the price structure is better than in Liberia. I just read a core per minute average in Gambia is 0.06 cent per minute. And I just read that in Liberia is 0.15 cents per minute.
So that means we pay 2.5 times what is paid in Gambia. Am I right?
Yeah.
Right?
9 cents, 15 cents,
Alright.
2.5. 6 cents, 15 cents, 2.5.
Alright. If we talk about revenue, generating revenue, Gambia has game cell that is government owned. What plan do you have? Because like somebody said, the DSL company, Orange and Lone Star are making millions. Do you have any plan to have a government-owned DSL company so that can help to boost our revenue? And will you commit yourself to that? I don't know, like 4 years or 5 years, right? You got 4 years or 5 years.
Yeah, well, right now I have 0 years, but you give me 4 years.
Well, we are confirmed. Definitely, I will confirm you. You have my vote. But can you commit yourself to making sure that during the 4 years, you will make sure that we have a government-owned GSM company?
Well, Senator, the regulator is a referee. And I'm in the public. It would be unfair to the other competitors for me to begin to promote, except if I can do so in context about creating a third player. But
you advocating for that players to come.
But as a government,
can you advocate for that players to come?
The government already has a company which is LTC.
Yeah.
So LTC will be the equivalent of Luca.
Can you make LTC vibrant so that there can be competition, like competing with the Orange and the Blue Star?
Okay.
Don't you want it?
So as a regulator, I cannot be seen as in the name of LTA or LTA as an entity, as a regulator, cannot be seen as taking money and putting in LTC. That means you are empowering a competitor and your job is to regulate the market. So as a regulator, I would shy away from saying that. But as a government, I'm saying that if the government were to bring a third player, it would be advisable, that since you already have LTC, it's not in my place to determine. That is the government decision, including the national legislature. I'm saying from a business perspective, from a nationalistic perspective, even though I cannot be advocating for LTC against other people, but it could make sense that bringing a third player empower or give a share of LTC to other companies. In that case, you move LTC from being dependent on the national project to standing on its own, fund its own operation, and be strengthened to compete. That decision is not for me to make. I can only have it as a wish list, but it is the decision of the government, meaning the executive branch of government, the presidency, and those of you who represent our collective interest, the national legislature.
On the issue of the TIA, you know, our once the managing director of the National Port Authority, most of our institutions, government institutions, the work that we can do, we take it and give it to a third party to perform. That's why it's unfortunate in some of our agreement we give that third party 80% of revenue collected there. Then government take 20%. I have interest in working with my colleague for to make sure that we try to get rid of some of the things so that more revenue can come to us. Because our source of revenue, especially for international support from America, is not diminishing or there's a Trump in power and Trump is pumping everything. So I want you to begin to position yourself and train more people so that tomorrow you can take over TIA when the need arises. And thank you, all of you are competent. I saw Pega CV. He has an education in America and other countries. And I've been working with most of you.
former colleagues. So you have my blessing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Senator Daba.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and distinguished colleagues. I want to also join others to congratulate the nominees that have been preferred by the President. Mine is a comment and maybe followed by one small question. I've listened to my colleagues ask most of the issues that I really have, the concerns that I need clarity on. Let me say that I'm very glad that you all emphasize the expansion, especially in the rural areas. Because we who come from those communities, we know that access is a challenge. Every time you visit areas, people tell you, oh, we can't telephone. Especially places like areas like our health facility, when there are emergencies. How do they call on the referral area or get access to ambulance service and all of those things? So I'm happy that you are strong on that, and I will encourage you to pursue that so that our issues in the rural communities can be a little bit solved. Also, another thing, the competition, I think is something that I would be in support of as a committee member. Because as I reflect, the number I have here, the Mustard number I got it during the $65 for same. We know what monopoly does in these sectors. So competition will improve the services and also provide the cost, the lower cost for consumers. I wanted to ask a question. I know last year, 2024 June, the LTA during one of its briefing mentioned that, but before I say that, I need to say regulatory in this country has been a challenge. And it's not only in the telecom sector. We are seeing that in different concessions. Sometimes the concessions can be good. There can be places that you need to really regulate so that the benefit, the return can come to the country. But regulators, we have dealt with the NBC and different agencies, and I see that there are always lapses. I'm happy that you all stress that you're going to be strong to make sure that Liberia benefits from these concessions. But I wanted to say that we listened to LTA pronouncement of imposing fines on some companies for some violations. Sometime last year, June, I think it was around 300K a piece. Was that paid? Did they pay that, or is this paying? I just wanted to know whether that has happened. Because it's the beginning of being a strong regulator.
Yes, Chair and Senators. Yes, we took that decision and found the companies, and that was in line with the value, the floor price, the same floor price. The record available to us show that yes, they were able to make payments.
Thank you very much. Hey, let me say congratulations in advance. The committee will make this decision, but I'm impressed by the answers you provided, the plans you have. And remember, you know better than the two of you on the committee, you know that means on the board, you know that this committee can always invite you to follow up on some of the commitments you are making. But thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Senator Botukane.
Left front. It's okay.
I want to say thank you to the nominees.
We don't go left front.
I know that you people have been fighting, so series of questions were answered by you by force, because when you are fighting, you don't have the strength to do what you're supposed to have done. But then thank God you have been nominated to the position and will be confirmed by this Liberian Senate.
Let it go. He meant to be confirmed.
You just have to say, vote. And you'll be confirmed at the Liberian Senate. I want to say thank you, and Commissioner Honor, because I know you're already commissioner. There's a parable that says when you are drowning in the river, and that thing you see, and you believe that it can save you. This is the reference back Olu County. So you want to tell us that we don't want no other tower beside our Starlink?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Because you see, we are vulnerable. We are vulnerable for now. But when you are confirmed, I know you do more than that for that county. And it will be on your back. Because that county is one of the heartbeat of the president. So I want to say thank you to you people again. May God bless you as you take up. What is your name? Mr. Pega, thank you. But the next time be focused. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Senator Yard. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As a ranking member of this committee, we have the privilege to interact with the nominee while we are consolidating our report in committee room. So I will yield back to you, Mr. Chairman. I don't have any specific question. If there are concerns that will be collating from other senators, will be passed on to them to commute between here and our offices to answer those concerns. Thank you.
Thank you.
Senator Kubashia Bani.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have two concerns. The first has to do with accessibility of signal in the interior. In the face of the Universal Access Fund, I'm inclined to believe the fund is not readily sufficient for you to engage as many districts as you would love to engage at a time. We have almost the same situation with the roads. From time immemorial, actually from the 90s, the early 90s, or late 80s, up to the end of President Weir's term, we were doing the same thing over and over, and every rain season, we will not be able to access Lofa, access Maryland, access Grand Crew, and we had the same problem. The Public Works leadership currently, under Minister Giddings, was so dynamic and innovative. They said, look, the money that we get every month or every year is not sufficient for us to engage all of the trouble spots at once. Since it's a must that we collect this money, and over a period we will be able to get so much, let us deal with the companies with the muscles that will be able to engage depending on what we will collect in the future, be able to engage all of the roads at once. So since I was in 10th grade, except for the war period, I've gone to Maryland or from Maryland to Monrovia on that road for all these years, except for the war period. From 1990 till the year before the last, we've always had bad roads during the rainy season. This is the first time since 1990. This is the first time, and nobody is talented. Even other Madam Salita never had it. This is the first time you have taxis going to Lofa, going to Maryland, going to Sino, going to any part of Liberia in
July, it hasn't happened. This is the first. Nobody can challenge it. There are people in Monrovia who don't go outside, so they do not know. In July, to have Texas, going to Maryland, going to Greenville, going to Louvain, it hasn't happened before.
The MTA boss give them apple.
The MTA buses now moving to Apple, and not just in the rainy season, in the middle of the rain. That's innovation. I have a lot of people in Maryland who desire to have the means to communicate with their loved ones from the villages. Everybody cannot live in the city. And the world is so bloody. Telephones cost $15. So acquiring a phone is not much of a difficulty. Acquiring the access has become a challenge. In this modern world, it should not be. So my thing is, if you apply a little bit of innovation, just as public works, I really do think public works has greater challenge than you have. If you become a little dynamic, a little innovative, and bring in people with the muscles who can put in the money and wait for the period to get it, you can engage almost all the districts at once. That would be my recommendation to you. And, that would be my recommendation to you. I think you need to do that. We are so appreciative of this regime. As a matter of fact, it was because of the lack of good roads, in addition to many other reasons, that I decided I would not support the CDC government. And so I'm super, super, super proud of this government for that achievement. But it takes just little innovation. And I would think you need to look along those lines. I have one question, and that is in line with the issue of fake phones that you alluded to. When I'm in the States, I have argument with a lot of my friends there who believe that most of what we get in Africa are fake things from China. And I said to them, you cannot categorize it as being fake because these people are saying it's fake. We have people with different economic muscles, economic capacity. You get plenty of money, you buy the one that is more expensive or that is extremely strong. You got less money, you buy the one your money can afford. So there are people in this country who rely on using $15 phone, $10 phone to communicate. And when you talk about fake phones, it presupposes to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you are not talking about cheaper phones. So then, please differentiate, what you mean when you talk about the fake phones.
As opposed to the cheap phones.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Chair and Senator, distinguished Senator, thanks for raising our point. Yes, this board doesn't think that because the phone is cheap, it's fake. In fact, most times people don't duplicate cheap things. It's like the counterfeit people, waste it down, counterfeit $5, maybe $100, $1,000. So being at the price of $15 doesn't make a phone fake, not necessarily. But to just add, when this system comes online, Senator, it's not just to determine fake, it's even an insurance. For example, once you have that system and you pay, let's assume that you got a phone $1,000, and I tell you, because I'm going to have this system, give me $5 per year. And anytime, we don't pray for your phone to get busy, because it's insurance. The day your phone is stolen, or the day you miss your phone and you cannot find it anywhere, you will not feel good that a third party who made out your phone is using it. And you report it to that system. That ID and number is unique to that phone. That system will block that. You cannot use it
anywhere. In that case, it serves as a disincentive for people who pass around. Because the guy knows that, okay, if I can walk and stick your phone in less than 5 minutes, that phone will be blocked. I'm not going to use it. It feels like I'm not going to risk myself to go and stick that phone. On the other hand, most of the costs, for example, Senator, when you, I'm not defending the companies here, but sometimes you will place a call because of the kind of phone that you have. That phone downloads some of the apps that you have your money on the phone before you say, oh, you know, I just look at my phone, then my money from my phone. I think I lose that again. Okay? Most time, and maybe not always, but sometimes it's because of the devices that we have. But because we don't have a system to detect it, we tend to believe that everything is a service provider. That's why now with the introduction of this system, we kind of break up everything. On the issue of rural, and Chair will allow me to learn on this, on the issue of rural connectivity. Senators, the UAF funding, if we want to rely on the UAF funding, we can always come back here to justify. I really, really believe, and I will make this as a passionate plea, not me as a person, but the board will make this as a passionate plea to the president. That look, I have realized even those who cannot afford rice will try how to charge their phone. Even the man who is not able to buy rice, he will come to the neighbor house to charge his phone. He's not able to charge his phone to buy credit, but he wants the phone to be on because somebody from somewhere will call him. So to have our rural dwellers, and we say rural, even most of them rural, they got rural most around right here. So I will be pleading with the president, just as we are trying to reduce the price of rice, just as we are trying to reduce the price of petroleum product, let us try to make sure that telecommunication is not just affordable, it's not just reliable, not just available, but it is affordable. If we were to do that, when you do the correlation between coverage, network coverage, and economic growth, they have a very, very straight direct relationship. We believe people in the D-World countries can stay there and call. They don't have to drive to come. So the president, I will be very happy. I cannot put a price on this. But if you were to ask me, I will ask the president, even if it is the first $1 million as a government, put it in. So the companies cannot have a street. When you put a title somewhere, you cannot force them to go and co-locate. In our case, the services are, it's not a quick fix, but I am personally very passionate about this to make sure we arrive at that. And I'm sure we have the support of the president. He has told us privately. He might be communicating with the legislature to see how all of us can work together to make sure we achieve this. Thank you so kindly, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, distinguished Senator. The nominee, we listening to your testimony, your responses to our questions and interaction. I want to say thank you for giving you this time. I think during the opening of our second half of our second section here, the committee made a report to plenary, and most of the things that the committee talked about are the things that we are talking about here, because we've been working with the active leadership with the various reports that we have. So obviously, I don't believe as a chair of the committee I should be asking more questions when I have most of the answers already. It's the issue of working together with the folks here. I believe that Mr. Pega is still in shock, being appointed as a commissioner for the LTA. So obviously, it came on notice, and I think we want to appreciate the president for allowing somebody of institutional knowledge to be on the commission. I think that I would say for that we can understand some of the issues coming before the legislature. It's a different place here. The chamber is different. We understand that. Our two colleagues here, obviously. So we want to say thank you. We just want to promote everything on the universal asset, especially knowing that a whole lot of us here on the committee from the rural area, and we're even shocked to hear that
says on the laws, those of you is having every issue. There's sharp. So the more work to be done. Thank you very much. The committee will get back to you on a list of concerns and you need to respond to, including we'll send you a draft metrics on the cybercrime draft law. We need to respond to that. All of those concerns are contingent. Your confirmation contingent on the response to those concerns. Thank you.